Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Expert Kang with the Anachronauts modular set against Black Widow. So pull up a chair and let's see what happens. And that's right, we do have Expert Kang with the Anachronauts modular set, which according to his rules are difficulty like 8, I think. And I'm going to do it with Black Widow, obviously in Justice, as you can see here with the starting hand I've drawn. So hopefully she can do it. I do have the 15 hit points he gets in Expert, and I dealt the encounter card. I think everything's been shuffled up. We're ready to go, and we'll see what happens. But I'm going to do my mulligan now, and I think I'm going to go ahead and dump these, the 2 Power of Justice and this Espionage, and draw back up to 3. All right, and so good. I kind of like what I see here. I want to get a Spycraft into play, and I'll do that with another Spycraft. And then I'm going to put Attack Acrobatics in with target acquire. Oh, actually, before I do that, I get to draw a card from her ability, so I'll do that. A grappling hook, that is going to change what I do a little bit. No, it's not going to change anything much after all. I am going to put in Attack Acrobatics with target acquired. And then I'm going to put in Counterintelligence with Genius, because I'm going to stay as Black Widow one more turn, and this grappling hook only works on hero form anyway. So that's going to be it. And I'll draw back up to 6. Okay, so the start of the villain phase, we put 1 threat on the main scheme, and he'll scheme for 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like that, so I'll have the counterintelligence prevent 3 of that. So it'll just go up, just 1 will go on there up to 2. And then she has to deal with 2 encounter cards. The first one will be Manipulated Time Stream. When revealed, discard each event from your hand. If no events are discarded this way, this card gains Surge. So I would lose Dance of Death, and that's it. I'm not going to be able to use Dance of Death anyway, so I'll hold on to my Spycraft, and I'll just lose my Dance of Death. So the event was discarded that way, so we'll get. So then the next one will be Assault, and that's going to gain Surge because she's an alter ego. And then Depowered. You cannot play hero-specific cards. Alter ego action, discard a hero-specific card from your hand. Man, I could Spycraft that, but I'm not sure I want to. I'm just going to let this go off. I could use Spycraft to get rid of this obligation, but I don't know what's coming, and it could be a little worse. And I do have 2 grappling hooks. I'll be able to maybe get 1 in at least. So if not this turn, maybe a future turn. So I'll just leave it and play, and we'll go back to Black Widow. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to discard a hero-specific card from my hand to discard the obligation, and that's going to be one of her grappling hooks here to get rid of that. And then I'm going to put in Black Widow's Gauntlet with Spycraft. And then I'm going to use her Gauntlet for 1, Mockingbird for 2, to put in a grappling hook. And that's going to let her draw a card, a Strength. Okay. Do I want to stay? I could stay as Black Widow for 1 more turn, but I think I'll just go ahead and flip for this turn and Thwart for 2 to remove the main scheme back down to 2. And so that's it. So we'll ready and draw to 5. Okay, one of the things I forgot at the beginning of the game was to give him a toughness. So he has tough, but it doesn't matter. I didn't do any damage to him. He's still at 15. So we're good there. But we'll put the 1 threat on the scheme like I'm supposed to. He's going to attack. She will defend. And I'm going to put a threat on there to keep the damage as low as possible. And so he'll attack with 3, 4. So I will go ahead and cancel that boost icon there with Attack Acrobatics. So that means the 1 boost will go and knock off the tough. And then after you trigger the ability of a preparation card you control, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So I now deal the 1 damage, and he will take 14. So those two points of damage don't go at the same time. And so that's why I used the damage from the Attack Acrobatics to remove the tough, and then the damage from her to drop him down to 14. So we should be good there. And the card will be Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. And I mean, I could use Spycraft and just discard it, But I think I'll use my grappling hook to discard that, or to cancel that. And so that'll put another damage on him to 13, because I'm about to get my safe house, and I can pull that grappling hook right back out. So we are back to Black Widow. And I think I'm going to put Nick Fury in with strength for 2, covert ops for 3, and under surveillance for 4. And I'll let him draw me 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to put in, well, I'll deal with him later. I'll have him do something in a little bit. But I'm going to put in the safe house with skilled investigator. And then I'm going to use my safe house after I flip to Natasha. And now I'm going to use my safe house in alter ego form to get the grappling hook back out into her hand. And I'm going to put in grappling hook with the 2 resources from energy. And that will let me draw a card, and it's Widow's Bite. I don't really want to use Quake to spend that. Oh, well, I have a Power Gauntlet here. So I'll use the Power Gauntlet to put in a Widow's Bite. I got to pay attention to what I have on the table. I'm going too fast. All right, so I can keep Quake into the game, but I don't get to draw any more cards. Nick will thwart for 2, dropping him down to 2 to get the main scheme back down to 0. And I'm not real worried too much about it going off, because I do have a Spycraft that can cancel in advance if I need to. So that's going to be it. I'm going to ready and draw to 6. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme to start the phase. And he will scheme for 1. Give Kang a tough status card as the boost. So I'll do that. So he's only going to scheme for 1. And which means that with his low scheme, even if I get in advance, it won't go off. So I'll save my Spycraft unless a minion comes out that I don't want to see. So the encounter card will be a Macrobots, and I don't want to see any minions. So I will Spycraft that, and then the other card that replaces it will be a Terminatrix, which is Quick Strike, which doesn't hurt her too bad because she's an alter ego, so she's not going to get the Quick Strike him. Quick Strike her, and her attacks gain piercing. She has 5, and that's not too bad. Nick Fury will be discarded at the end of the round, and by the way, I can't use Widow's Bite because it's a hero response, and that's the reason why I didn't use it. So we are back to Natasha, and I'm going to use the Black Widow's Gauntlet to put Attack Acrobatics into play, and that's going to let me draw a card, and it's Agent Coulson. And I will put in Agent Coulson with Stealth Strike, Jessica Jones, and Quake, I guess. And when he comes in, I'm going to have him go into my discard pile to get counterintelligence out. And let's see. So there's my counterintelligence. And then I'm going to put that into play with Daredevil and Widow's Bite. And I've already drawn the card, so I can't do that again. And then I'll have Agent Coulson thwart for 2. Drop him down to 2 and to remove the threat from this scheme. And I'm going to stay as Natasha for another round. See if I can't build up some more. So I'll draw 6 cards and then move to the villain phase. Okay, so start the villain phase. 1 threat up here. He's going to scheme for 1, 2, 3. So I'll use the counterintelligence to prevent that. And then she'll scheme for 2, so it's going to bring it up to 3. And then the encounter card will be pinned down. When revealed, place 2 threat here for each obligation in play. And there aren't any obligations in play, so just 2 threat on that. And it does have a crisis icon, so I got to keep that in mind. And I forgot to ready my cards, so they're ready now, and we are back to Natasha. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put in target acquired using Black Widow's Gauntlet. That lets me draw a card, and it is Winter Soldier. And so he can reduce the cost to play Winter Soldier by 1 for each preparation card you control, and I do 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to come into the game. That's cool. I didn't think I was going to be able to use him. I didn't know he was coming, but I can put him in for free. He'll come in with 4 health, and I want to put in her synth suit with, I guess I'll use Dance of Death, Counterintelligence, and I don't know, under surveillance for that. So that gets her synth suit in. I'm going to use the safe house to pull out a spycraft. It's in here somewhere. All right, there's a spycraft, and then I'll use covert ops to put that into play somewhere. Hopefully I won't forget about it sitting way up here. But there's her spycraft. And then I will go ahead and flip to Black Widow. Agent Coulson is going to thwart for 2. And that will drop him to 1, and that's going to come off of this pin down so that I can get that out of the way. And then Winter Soldier will attack for 2 on her to drop her to 3. And then I have 3 over here. I do have a grappling hook that can cancel an advance that comes out if I need to. But if he draws a 3 on it, oh no, he won't be scheming. So I think I will just go ahead and attack for 2 with Natasha to drop the Terminatrix down to 1. And that's going to be it. So I'll ready and then draw up to 6, draw up to 5, excuse me. And I won't have enough because I'm almost out of my deck. So I'll have to deal myself an encounter card, and then I'll shuffle my deck and draw back up to 5 and move to the villain turn. Okay, so starting the main phase, we got 4 out of 7 here. He's going to attack. And I will, I think, put a threat on here to make it 5 out of 7 because I want to have her defend. She'll defend for 3. So he's going to attack for 3. And by the way, the reason I'm doing that is because that's his force interrupt. You have to either have to do +2 to attack or put a threat here. And then he'll just attack for 3 plus whatever his boost. So 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, well, I'm definitely using attack acrobatics on that. So I will be using attack acrobatics, and unfortunately, that 3 damage will go back to him. I'm only going to knock off the tough, but that's okay. However, I'm gonna do synth suit to ready her, and then she does get the 1 point of damage because I used a preparation card, and I'm going to use that to deal 1 damage to an enemy. It can be any of them. I'm going to use it to get rid of the Terminatrix so that she doesn't attack me, and then that'll do it for the attack. So I'm going to have to deal with 2 encounter cards. The first one is Gang Up. This card gains Surge if it's alter ego, but then he'll attack me. I could let that go. I don't have another attack acrobatics though. I mean, I could have Agent Coulson do it. But I really want to save my grappling hook in case that's an advance. So I will just let him attack. Agent Coulson's going to take it. It's going to be 5. I'm going to do 5, 6, 7. So Agent Coulson's gone. And I can move. He had 3 hit points. I can move Spycraft down here where I hopefully won't forget about it because I may need it right here. This is advanced. So I am glad that I didn't use grappling hook on Gang Up, or else I probably would have lost the game. I mean, I guess I could have used my Spycraft, but I don't have to now. I'm going to cancel that with grappling hook. And it will hit him, bringing him from 13 to 12. So we live to fight another day. And we are back to Natasha, or we are back to Black Widow. I'm going to have her and the Winter Soldier both thwart for 2, for 4 to take off here. And then I'm going to put in Mockingbird with espionage, stealth, and the 2 stealth strikes here. And that will stun Kang. And she'll come in with 3 hit points. And I'm going to use her 1 thwart to remove this last threat here so that we can get it back down to nothing on that. And I could flip to Natasha so that I can get this gauntlet in and start trying to build up some. Because once I get this gauntlet in, I'll have everything. I'll have her 2 gauntlets, the safe house, and the synth suit. I'll have everything that I want to be able to just stay Black Widow more often. So I think I will. I do have a Spycraft that can cancel another advance that comes out. I'm going to flip to Natasha. And then I'm going to use the safe house to pull out. It doesn't matter, espionage. And then I'm going to use espionage to put this gauntlet in. And so that'll do it. And we'll ready and draw to 6. Okay, so the start of the main phase, 1 threat up here. On the scheme, he's going to scheme for 1, 2, 3. So that's going to bring it up to 4 out of 7. And then the encounter card will be Sir Rastin. He comes in with guard and retaliate 1. I don't really want to see a minion, but I don't want to use Spycraft and then that being advanced. So I'll just let this dude come in. We'll take care of him. Comes in with 6, and we are back to Natasha. And the first thing I'll do is use my safe house to pull out a, oh no, yes, I do have a grappling hook. I thought it was gone, but I do have a grappling hook. It's right here. And then I'm going to use her 2 gauntlets to put that grappling hook into play over here, which will let me draw a card. It is Quake. And then I will put in Quake up here with the Power of Justice. She'll come in with 2 health. And then I will put in Attack Acrobatics somewhere, I guess right here, with Covert Ops. And then I'll put in another Spycraft next to this Spycraft with Jessica Jones and hold on to that Covert Ops. And then I'm going to flip. And let's see, I need to do something about him, but I do need to thwart some as well. I'm going to have her actually thwart for 2 and the Winter Soldier for 2 to get all this threat off of the scheme. And then if I use one of them to hit this Sir Rastin, he's a guard. It'll kill both of them, which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't really want to lose them both. But I am going to have Quake hit him for 2, drop him to 4. And that will knock Quake out of the game with the retaliate and consequential damage. And I'm not really too concerned. I am going to have Mockingbird hit him for 1 to drop him to 3. So she will leave the game. Okay, so I've readied everything and drawn up to 5. We're to the main villain phase. Start of it, put a threat here. He's supposed to attack, but he doesn't. He's stunned. Sir Rastin will attack. I'll just have Black Widow take it, drop her from 9 to 7. And then the encounter card will be Stolen Memories. No, I don't want that to happen. Place top 8 cards of your deck face down under this card. I'm going to Spycraft that and hit Sir Rastin for 1. And so the replacement card for Stolen Memories is Master Plan. No, I don't want a side scheme, I don't think. And I do have a Spycraft in case something stupid comes out later. So I'm going to use my grappling hook to cancel that and deal the damage to Kang to drop him down to 11. And we are back to Black Widow. So the first thing I'm going to do is have Black Widow attack for 2 and get rid of Sir Rastin. And he will not retaliate because I defeat him. So he's gone. And then I'm going to Dance of Death with Genius for 2, and I guess Under Surveillance for 3. Doesn't really matter because I'm putting the Spycraft in. So that's 6 damage to him, and that will drop him from 11 to 5. Okay. And then I will put another Spycraft in with the Covert Ops, and I'm going to ready and draw to 5. And by the way, he's at 1. I keep knocking his dice, but he's at 1. Okay, so we're up to 2 threat out of 7 on the main scheme. He's supposed to attack. I'll just put a threat on there and bring it up to 3. And so he'll attack for 3. She'll defend. And it's going to be 3, 4. This card gains a boost for each obligation in your play area. Okay, so that's going to be 4, but I'm going to cancel that with her Attack Acrobatics. So it'll be 1 damage for the 1 boost and then 1 from her. I'm going to put it both on him, dropping him to 3. And then I'll exhaust my Scent Suit to ready her. And then the encounter card will be Depowered. You cannot play hero-specific cards. And Alter Ego, got to discard 1. Okay, I do have 2 Spycrafts. And I would like to be able to put an upgrade into place. So I'll cancel that with one of my Spycrafts, which will drop him down to 2. And then the card to replace it will be King's Chosen. It's an Incite 1. When revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a temporal minion is discarded. Reveal that minion. I think I'll let that go off because I have a Widow's Bite to hit the minion. So it's Incite 1. 1 threat goes up here. and then I discard until I get a temporal minion. Okay, so let's see here. Discarding until we get a temporal minion. Good, there's Shadow of the Past. Don't have to worry about that. And I know that there it is, Wild Run. So when revealed, discard one random card from your hand. Oh, I hope that's not Nick Fury, but he's going to come in. I'm going to Widow's Bite that. And I'm going to hit him with 3. 2 from the Widow's Bite, 1 from her ability. So that's going to drop him from 5 to 2. And then he was also going to be stunned. And now I got to discard a card at random. Please don't be Nick Fury. And this is what happens when you do cards like Spycraft. You can get something worse. I'm not saying this is worse, but if I lose Nick Fury or something like that, I think it will be worse. But I will lose Nick Fury, of course. All right, well, I guess it was bound to happen, something bad. But I do have Daredevil at least that can come in and help me, so that's good. Not all is lost. And so we're back to Black Widow. So I'm going to have her attack for 2 to get rid of this this minion. And I don't know why I stunned him. I have a stun on Kang. That was supposed to be on the Wild Run minion. I just put it on the wrong person, but he's gone. Kang isn't stunned. It doesn't matter. He's about to leave the game anyway. We're about to move because I'm going to put Daredevil in with 2 from the Power Justice, 3, and then Widow's Bite for 4. And he will attack for 2 to knock Kang down to 0. And that's going to put him at 2. And then, so when defeated, advance the main scheme to stage 2 at the end of the phase. Well, we're not quite at the end of the phase yet because I'm going to flip the Black Widow. And I'm going to use the safe house to bring out a grappling hook. And I'm just doing this to make sure I have a grappling hook. I'm not sure if I'm going to draw one. And I'm not sure if I have 2 in my discard pile, but I want to get 1 in my hand. So that's why I'm doing it. And well, I guess I could go ahead and put it in. So I will go ahead this turn and put in grappling hook for 2. That's going to let me draw a card. It's going to be a target acquired. So I can put that in next turn. And that's going to be it. I'm going to ready and draw her back up to 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so at the end of the phase, you advance the scheme to stage 2. So that's what we're going to do. All right, and stage 2 comes in and it says place. And by the way, King of the Conqueror 1 is gone. So place 1 acceleration token here for each side scheme of play. There wasn't. Each player reveals a random stage 3A in turn order and remove any unused stage 3 schemes from the game. And then the forced interrupt is just in case you don't know, when an acceleration token will be placed on another scheme, place it here instead. So that's kind of going to go off the side. So I'm going to get the 4 possible side schemes and shuffle those up. And she's going to get a random one, and it will be the Realm of Ramatut. Okay, so I'll get him, and I'll show you what he has. He will come in with toughness. And he gets +1 attack for each obligation in play, which there aren't any. And then when defeated, remove the Realm of Ramatut from the game. And at the end of the phase, join another game area, which would be this 2A or 2B over here. So he comes in with tough. And then, so you add Kang. And this is something I think I forgot in the last game that I did with Iron Man. But then I deal myself an encounter card. Okay. Oh, I didn't ready everything. Daredevil should be ready. So I got the encounter card, now we're ready, and then the forced response is after the stage is completed, place. So if the stage completes, I'll have to put a Kang's Dominion into play, and I'll show you that if it happens. It comes in with 1 threat, and all that happened at the end of Natasha's main phase. So now we're at the villain phase. By the way, he comes in with 22 health, and so the start of the phase, he will get a threat, so it's up to 2. He schemes for 2. Give this enemy a tough status card and another boost card. He already has his tough, and I'm not going to waste target acquired on this. So he's got 2, 3, 4, and that's going to bring it up to 6. So let's see, 6 out of 9. All right, and then I have to deal myself another encounter card, and it's going to be Macrobots. I don't want to guard, so I'm going to cancel that with Spycraft, and the replacement will be Temporal Shield. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'll live with that. And then the other one will be, Stolen Memories, and I don't have a Spycraft. So the top 8 cards of your deck face down under this card, and I've only got 3. So the good news is he's only going to steal 3. The bad news is I have to deal myself an encounter card and deal with that. I'll go ahead and deal with that right now, and it is Assault, which will it is going to surge because I'm an alter ego, and then Apocryphus. When revealed, discard an ally or support you control, and this is the one I did not want to see. So I could either discard my safe house, which isn't going to happen, or an ally. I'm going to discard Winter Soldier because he's only got 1 health left anyway. And then this guy will come in with 4 hit points. And so I took care of I drew the encounter card when my deck ran out, so I'm going to shuffle my deck and then move to Natasha's turn. Okay, so I did reshuffle my deck. It's Natasha's turn. I have to spend or discard a mental resource from my hand to get rid of that obligation. I will. I'll discard my grappling hook, the mental resource for that. So that's going to get rid of Stolen Memories. And I get my cards back in, and some of them were okay, I guess, but I get them back. And then I'm going to use my safe house to pull out grappling hook. So it's like I didn't do anything to get rid of that. And so there we go with that. I will put in the other grappling hook using Black Widow's Gauntlet for 2. And that lets me draw a card. And so I will. And it'll be Quake. All right. And then I will put in Quake using Energy. She'll come in with 2. And then I will put in a Counterintelligence with target acquired because I can't put it any way. It's max 1 per player over here. And then so target acquired and the other Counterintelligence. Hold on to Dance of Death. I'm going to stay as Natasha because I want this to go off. I don't want to chew through this 22 hit points. And, it will give me a Kang's Dominion side scheme, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's kind of bad, but this is a strategy just to stay in Alter Ego and try to build up some and just let this go off and move to stage 3. It's a cheesy strategy, but it's the one I'm going to use because, Black Widow doesn't have the great damage output that some other heroes have. So I don't want to spend a lot of time dealing with him. So I'm just going to let it all go off. And this attachment will leave anyway. The minion won't, but I'm about to take care of him because I'm going to have Quake attack for 2. And I'm not going to have Daredevil do anything yet. So that is going to be it. And I'll ready and draw to 6. Okay, so starting the main phase, it goes up to 7. He's going to scheme for 2, 3. So I'm going to put 3 more on there, and that's going to bring it up to 10. Now, so it says after this stage is completed, which it is, place 1 set aside Kang's Dominion face down under stage 4A. Okay, and a Kang's Dominion is you cannot take damage, or Kang cannot take damage, and when defeated, deal this player who defeated this scheme an encounter card. But it only has 3 threats, so it shouldn't be too hard for her to get rid of. And I'll have to deal with an extra encounter card, but I'm willing to do that. I'm not worried about that. So that's going to go under 4A. And it goes face down under 4A. And then at the end of the phase, remove Kang Ramatut and this stage from the game and combine your game area with another game. So that's at the end of the phase that happens. So he has thwarted for 3. Oh, by the way, Quake hit him for 2, so he should be at 2. So he's done, and this doesn't advance till the end of the phase. So this Apocryphus still will scheme, as far as I understand. So we're going to put 1 threat on here for him, and then because he schemed, I'm going to have Quake, after minion schemes, exhaust Quake, deal 2 damage to it. I'm going to have Quake do that. She won't lose her health, but she will knock him out of the game. And that's why I didn't have Daredevil do anything, because I knew Quake would take care of it. So we're done there, and then at the end of the, we're not at the end of the phase yet. We got to do an encounter card, which is Advance. I'll just let it go off because I don't care how much more threat it takes. So it's 2, 3. This card gains 1 boost for each it doesn't matter. It's 3. So I'm not going to bother to put it on there because now we're at the end of the phase. And so we'll discard Kang Ramatut. And we also will discard the Temporal Shield because attachments in this scenario don't go over with the villain like they do in other games. And so now we're going to move on to stage 4. All right, so I'll get that set up. Okay, so stage 4 says to reveal Kang 3 and put him into play, so I'll do that. And he's right here. It's Kang the Conqueror. He'll come in with 25 hit points. I'll do that in a second. And then reveal each face down Kang's Dominion. So that's going to come into play. So I can't damage Kang while that's in play. And it comes in with 3. And then I'll do this. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile and set aside area for the Nemesis minion. And that is going to be for her Taskmaster. And he will come in and puts it into play, engaged with them, shuffle the encounter deck. So he'll come in with 4. Unfortunately, I'm in Natasha, so I can't do the Widow's Bite, which I don't have anyway. So I guess I wouldn't use it. But then I have to shuffle the encounter deck, which is just 1 card, so I'll shuffle that. All right, and then that was the end of the villain phase because it went off, on the, that scheme advanced on the villain phase. So now we're back to Natasha. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put in attack acrobatics. Oh, by the way, he comes in with toughness and 25 hit points. So let me get that correct. But I'm going to put in attack acrobatics using a Black Widow's Gauntlet that lets me draw a card. And then I'm going to put in the Widow's... No, I'm going to put in Spycraft, I think, with the other Gauntlet. And then I'm going to play Covert Ops using the other Covert Ops, Widow's Bite, and the Power of Justice for 3. So then remove 4 threat from a scheme, confuse the villain. So I'm going to get rid of this Kang's Dominion, and I'll deal myself an encounter card. I'll shuffle that in a second, but it's going to confuse the villain. Okay, and so let me, I got to put an acceleration token on here, and I'm going to shuffle the encounter deck. Okay, so the encounter deck's been shuffled. I'm not going to take anything out with the safe house because I don't want to use Dance of Death to pay for it. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip her over. She'll attack for 2. Daredevil will attack for 2. All 4 damage was going to go on Taskmaster, so he's done. And I think that's it. So I'll ready and draw up to 5. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme to start the villain phase. And then he's going to attack. Oh, I didn't ready Black Widow. But anyway, he's going to attack. I'll put a threat on there because, again, that's a force interrupt to put 1 threat on the main scheme or +2 attack. So I'm going to put 1 threat there, so it's only a 3. She will defend, and it's going to be 3, 4, 5. I'm going to use attack acrobatics. And so 2 of that 2 will knock off the tough. And then, as I said before, after you trigger the ability of a preparation card you control, deal 1 damage. So I triggered the ability to knock that off. So I'll do 1 damage to him to drop him to 24. I'm pretty sure I'm doing that right. And then I'll exhaust the synth suit to ready him because that's something I wanted to do as well. Okay, so we are going to go to the encounter phase. The first one she has to deal with is the Anachronauts. So when defeated, shuffle each temporal card in the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. And I don't think there are any, so I'll just let that go. Although it is a hazard icon, I'm not real worried about it. It's going to come in with 3. And then the other one will be Kang's Dominion, which, so he wouldn't be able to take damage. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to use the Spycraft to cancel that. because I don't want to take any more encounter cards either. I didn't think that was going to happen, but I had a Spycraft to handle it. So the 1 damage will go to him down to 23, and the card to replace it will be an advance. I could let it advance, but no, he schemes for too much. I'm going to cancel that advance with a grappling hook and deal another damage. He's down to 22. So we're back to Black Widow. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with her is I'm going to have Daredevil thwart for 2, and I'm pretty sure even though the consequential damage comes less, so I do think he gets to do his 1 point of damage. But I'm going to do 2 off of here, and the 1 point onto Kang, so that's going to drop him to 21, so he's gone. And then Quake will thwart for 1 to get rid of this, and she's gone. And then I'm going to have Black Widow attack for 2, and then Dance of Death with Widow's Bite, Stealth Strike, and Winter Soldier for 3. That's going to deal 6 damage over here, drop him from 21. Actually, it was 6, 7, 8 from Black Widow, so that's going to go 21 to 13. And then Black Widow will flip. And I'm going to use the safe house to pull out a Spycraft, and that's in here somewhere. All right, and then I'm going to use her Black Widow's Gauntlet to pay for that Spycraft, and then that lets me draw a card, which is Jessica Jones. So I'll just leave that there, and then I'll ready and move this down here so I can see it and draw it to 6. Okay, so start of the main villain phase, we're going to put 2 up here. And I may have forgotten to put an extra one time. I don't know when I put this acceleration token on. So I'll just put it on now. So 1, 2, 3, I'll add 3. So this is going to bring it up from 2 to 5. All right, so if I did forget to put the acceleration token on earlier, I'm putting it on now. So it was 1, 2, 3, had 2 already. So it's 5 out of 10. All right, he's supposed to scheme, but he can't because he's confused. And the encounter card will be Stolen Memories. You know what? I don't think that's too harsh at this point in the game. I'll let that go. So the top 8 cards will come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that would empty your deck. I'll still let it go. So that's going to empty your deck. I'll shuffle in a second. The replacement card will be the Macrobots. I'm going to cancel that with Spycraft. And so the replacement will be Corrupted Time String. Players cannot trigger alter ego actions, abilities on obligations. Then each player must either discard 1 random card from hand or place 2 threat here. I'll just place the 2 threat, so that's going to be 4 on there. And then I'm going to shuffle up her deck and move to Natasha's turn. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is use Black Widow's Gauntlet to put in a Spycraft, and that's going to let me draw a card. Espionage, okay. And then I'm going to put in Jessica Jones with the Power of Justice and Espionage for 2 and 3. I'm going to use the Safe House to bring Espionage back into my hand. And then I will flip to Natasha, and she is going to attack Kang, and so is Jessica Jones. So it's going to be 2, 4. Then I'm going to Dance of Death with 1, 2, 3. So that's 2, 4, and 6 is 10. That drops it down from 13 down to 3. I'll hold on to Stealth Strike. Jessica Jones is at 2 health now. So we're going to ready and draw back up to 5. Okay, so start of the main phase, we got to put 2 up there. So it's going to be 7 out of 10. And then Kang is going to attack, and she's got plenty of health. I'll just add the +2 because I'm not real sure what's supposed to be over here. So I'm just going to add the +2. So it's going to be a 5, and she's got 3 defense. So it's going to be 5, 6, 7. So gain 1 for each obligation in your play area. So it's going to be 7 total attack. And I don't have an attack acrobatics, so she'll just have to take it. 7 minus 3 is 4, dropping her from 7 to 3. And then the encounter card will be depowered. So I'm going to use Spycraft to cancel that. and deal damage to him, dropping him to 2. And then the replacement encounter card will be Time Travel Hijinks Surge. So when revealed, each player takes 1 indirect damage for each obligation in their play area. I'll let that go off. So Jessica Jones will take the indirect damage because there's only 1 obligation. And it's going to surge into... Oh, I could have canceled the whole thing with Grappling Hook. I forgot about that. I'm going to take that back because Grappling Hook is different than some of the other ones. When you reveal a treachery, discard Grappling Hook, cancel the effects of that treachery and discard it. And that includes the surge. So I will have Grappling Hook cancel that treachery. And that will do 1 damage to him, dropping him from 1. And we are back to Black Widow, and Jessica Jones will attack for 2. And that's all we need to win the game. And so that'll do it. Black Widow defeats Expert Kang with the Anachronauts modular set. And, you know, she was able to control the game pretty well, I thought. And that is what Black Widow Justice especially can do, is just control what the villain can do. And I was able to do that, I think, pretty well. And she comes out as the victor there. And with 7 threat at least. I don't think I missed this too many times, but with 7 threat out of 10. And this thing doesn't cause me to not be able to attack him. No, I just can't trigger the obligations, but that's good. So I think that's a win. I hope you enjoyed it, the playthrough. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe. And make sure you hit the notification bell for any future playthroughs that I may have. And until those playthroughs come out, I'll save you a seat at the table.